Want to watch some live editing today? I posted a short that you guys loved and I thought I would actually show you how I edited those photos in 3 different styles with the same presets. Plus, I threw in some extra images just because it sounded fun to do. So let's get editing. I'm using the same preset for both looks from this preset collection, just so you know. Okay, let's start with our more moody look. So we're going to apply 3. Let's warm this up a bit. Let's add dark shadows and maybe some pastel tones to add a little more creaminess. Maybe we pull this just a touch up so we don't lose all the detail. Just because it's moody doesn't mean it has to lose, detail and become this like heavy contrasty thing. So, um, before and after. So there we're at with that. Then I'm going to go back to before and we'll do the light look. Let's warm it up again. Maybe not quite as far. Okay, let's do pep up midtones. Should even add pastel tones on these. Let's just make sure those shadows are a lot lighter with this one to keep it from feeling heavy. In fact, I feel like I should have reduced this just a little. Okay, we got before, have a light look and a moody look. Now let's shift to the other image from that reel. I'm going to apply the 1. Now, I would say if you are shooting with intent of being a little more moody, you'll probably watch your highlights a little more. So this photographer usually has a brighter, lighter look, and they didn't really worry about like showing all of the exterior. So if you want a little more moody look, I would say you need to shoot a little more underexposed to make sure that you don't lose some of those highlights. So I think with this one, let's pop on darken shadows. Let's correct mixed light a little. I still think maybe we can reduce the shadows a little bit and then add some warmth over the top. Maybe let's darken the background with this AI tool and then reduce the strength of it. We could even darken. Let's see, I'll reduce that strength too. Probably looks about right. So here's our moody. Let's do our light and airy look. So we will apply 3, maybe warm a little bit, and pull that tint to green a little bit. I think some people are scared to pull the tint towards green because they think it's going to turn them weird. But I think sometimes that is what brings you to a little more of a creamy. Let's do soften and save and we'll put this down. A creamy skin tone is by making sure that there's a little bit of appropriate green levels. Okay, now this inside area is a little on the contrasty side. I'm thinking maybe we darken her a little. That way we don't lose all of the details there. Because she has such light going around her. Okay, I like that. Here's our before. Here's our lighter look, and here's our moodier look. So here are a few extra images that I'm just going to run through as well. Like I mentioned about shooting with more moody intent with these highlights, the same is going to apply here. I'm not sure that you would have as much success with the moody look if you don't shoot a little more underexposed, just because the blown highlights are going to cause a little bit of issues. I'll pop that on. These presets do tend to save the highlights initially anyway, so that helps. But let's pull exposure down. We'll get it a little warmer like the other one was. In fact, going to go back to this moody one, pull it into here so that we have a little reference on color. Okay, I think we were in the right area. So this image has such high contrast, we almost need to pull it down a little. Then get the darks where we want. Add a little pastel that does warm it up a bit. Let's reduce some saturation. I think that gets us closer. What if we darken the background? I feel like that's too much contrast. if I reduce that a bit. I think it works fine. I just think that this image is not going to be as successful because it's so blown out in this background. So generally, like this would be what you would go for, but if you're shooting a little more underexposed, I think it would be much more successful in that moody look. Okay, and then we're going to try for the lighter look. Here, I'll just pull this because it's lighter. Okay. Let's warm it just a little bit. Yeah, see how you don't notice it as much, the blown background, when you're going for like a lighter look? I think that's just the case with this one too. Let's brighten those midtones. Moving on. This next image with just the bride is going to be a little tricky because she has a little bit of orangey makeup going on. So we're going to apply the preset and all that and see what happens and where that lands. So we'll just be cautious of it. This particular preset does reduce a little bit of the yellow orange anyways. So that will be helpful. We might not even need to do much as we are doing a lighter look. So I'm thinking it's such a high contrast light. Let's do soften and save. We'll reduce the strength, maybe increase the overall look. Okay, what if we do brighten subject? That really helps her kind of pop. And then we'll pull that down a little bit. So you have to be aware of your surroundings. I think that she did a good job of finding a spot that at least had nice, even light on the subject in a difficult location. That worked out really nice. Let's do our darker look. So 1, 3, going to decrease a little bit. Exposure, tint, let's warm it a little. We added pastel tones on the other ones. I think we should probably do that. I'll fix that color. And it almost needs to soften and save also, just because of the harsh lighting. I think we pull that saturation down. Maybe we need to do both of these like we did on the other image. Just because it's moody doesn't mean we go too dark, right? I don't know. I'm always trying to prioritize skin tones. So yes, you want to have your style, but you don't want to make them look crazy. I've seen some crazy, weird skin tones when people are trying to achieve different styles. So here would be before. Here is a lighter look. And then here's a more moody look. Now to this image. This one will probably cater to a moodier look because of where the light is coming on the front of them like this. And it kind of drops off in the background. So I think that this one's going to end up working pretty well. Let's warm it. I think we'll drop the exposure a little bit. I wonder if this camera just needs some softening. I feel like different cameras sometimes use the tools better than others. Like they use different tools more often. So sometimes I'm having to like boost contrast in one camera, but in this camera, it's a little too strong. So you also need to pay attention to that and which tools would work best for your camera and your shooting. Okay, that's really pretty. Let's pull saturation back. Maybe a little more magenta. We could try to darken background a little. Kind of highlights them a bit. Okay. Like that. Now we're going to reset. We'll do our light and airy look. I think I like the bright white look, but maybe we pull it down a little. Okay, that looks nice. I don't even think we need much else on this. Could add this, but I think it would need to be just very slight. That looks nice. Wonder. Okay, that looks really nice too. I like that. So we have before, we have a lighter look, and we have a moody look. I really love this image. This is so pretty. So this is a little bit different setting, which I thought would be good to try out. Let's go with our light look first. I don't think we want to get too much saturation. I just don't want to lose his jacket too much. But that gives them a nice pop. Okay. I like that. Let's try our darker look. We don't even have to really decrease exposure on this one. Just need to watch that the skin doesn't get too muddy. And I think we might have to soften this one too. Maybe we just pull a little shadows up. Okay, I think that looks about there. Let's bring this in. Oh, I know. I think we just need to pull that saturation back. There we go. That looks right. A lighter look and then a moodier look. And lastly, thought I'd throw some flowers in there just because they look so lovely. Let's start out lighter. Okay, we'll soften just a little. We just need to pull up some shadows and maybe overall exposure. That's probably right where we need it. Back to before. And I think we'll probably, let's pull it down a little. I feel like that could be too much. Let's see here. Actually, that's not too bad. I think that lands in a nice spot. So we have before, a lighter, softer look, and a moodier look. So here they are in the before. And here is our collection of a light, softer, airy look. And here they are together with a more moody look. Let's do the black and whites. This is like my favorite black and white that I've ever had. And I can usually just get there in one click and then maybe an exposure adjustment or contrast if it needs to be. But this looks really lovely to me. Let's go back into grid. I think if we just sync and just do these global adjustments, that should be fine. Okay. Lovely. Looks so good. I love the grain, which can be reduced if needed with a quick tool. But these just look really nice straight out. Yay! I hope that was helpful for you to see. And if you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Also, if you're a little stuck on where you want to go style-wise with your photography, go watch this next video about how to discover your style, and it'll help you get started or to work on refining your style. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.